If he keeps acting like your boyfriend but refuses to define the relationship, that is not taking it slow. And it's not you being needy. Men avoid labels when they want the benefits without the responsibility. At the start, he was clear. He texted like he meant it. He made plans like he wanted you in his life. He stayed consistent enough that you relaxed. Now you're getting half answers. You know I care about you. Why do we need a label? Let's just see where it goes. And somehow, every time you try to name what this is, the conversation slides away like soap in the shower. Maybe you asked after a full weekend together. Maybe you met his friends and it started to feel real. Maybe you talked about trips, holidays, months from now. Maybe you said, calmly, "So, what are we doing?" And that's when he got vague. Not angry, not gone, just slippery. Still close when it suits him. Still affectionate when it's easy. But suddenly allergic to defining anything. So you turn it on yourself. Did I move too fast? Did I ask the wrong way? Did I ruin the vibe? Should I be more chill so he doesn't feel pressured? Here's what you're not seeing. You didn't break anything by wanting clarity. You didn't scare away a man who was ready to build something real. A man who wants a future with you does not hide behind no label. No label is not neutral. No label is a decision. Here's what defining the relationship looks like in real life with a man like this. He keeps you close, but not claimed. He texts you when he wants access. He goes quiet when you want clarity. He shows up when he's in the mood. He disappears when you bring up the future. He'll do boyfriend things, but only in ways that don't cost him anything. He'll sleep over. He'll cuddle. He'll act protective in public. He'll call you when he's had a long day. He'll lean on you when life hits him. But when you ask, "What are we?" he suddenly becomes a philosopher. He starts acting like you're asking for something huge when you're asking for something basic. And watch the timing. He avoids the label right after he got what he wanted. Right after sex gets regular. Right after you start being more available. Right after you stop dating other people because it feels wrong. Right after you start treating him like he's already your man. Then the excuses come. He says he doesn't like pressure. He says he had a bad past. He says labels ruin things. He says he's not there yet, but he's getting there. And meanwhile, his life stays exactly the same. You're the one adjusting. You start choosing your words like you're walking through a room full of glass. You bring it up gently. You bring it up less. You wait for the right moment. You don't want to push. You try to be the cool woman who doesn't need much. So the relationship becomes this quiet deal you never agreed to. You give loyalty without security. You give girlfriend treatment without girlfriend position. And here's the sharp truth. If he won't define it, it's defined. It's defined as something that serves him first. And once you see his behavior clearly, the next question is simple. Why does a man want you close, but not committed? He wants the comfort of you without the weight of you. He likes having someone who answers, someone who listens, someone who gives him sex, affection, peace, and attention. But he does not want to be held to a standard, because once he defines the relationship, he owes you things. He owes you consistency. He owes you honesty about where he stands. He owes you respect when other women are around. He owes you a real place in his life, not a convenient one. And that's the part he's avoiding. A label doesn't just name the connection. A label creates consequences. With a label, you get to ask real questions. Where is this going? Are we exclusive? Are we building something or just passing time? Without a label, he can keep every door open. He can keep you and still keep his freedom to act single when it benefits him. He can enjoy you without risking being the bad guy if he walks away. He can take what he wants and call it natural and no pressure. And if you start getting upset, he has a built-in defense. He can say, "We never said we were anything." He can act like you assumed. He can make your needs sound like demands. That's why he fights the definition so hard. Not because he's confused. Not because he's deep. Not because he's scared of love. Because vagueness is power. It lets him stay in control while you stay in hope. And now the part that matters most. His refusal to define the relationship is not a mystery you need to solve. It's a message you need to read correctly. And the next thing you need is not a better way to ask. It's the truth about what his limits do not say about you. I know what your mind does when a man won't define the relationship. You start scanning yourself like a problem. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not fun enough. Maybe I'm too much. Maybe I asked too soon. Maybe if I'm easier, he'll choose me. No. A man's refusal to commit is not a report card on your value. It's a report card on his capacity. Some men can enjoy a good woman and still not rise to meet her. They can take warmth and still refuse responsibility. They can like you and still keep you in a place that protects them. That doesn't mean you weren't enough. It means he's not built for what you're asking for, or he doesn't want to build it with you. And those two things feel similar, but they lead to the same result. You're sitting there trying to earn what a healthy man gives because he wants to. You're trying to perform your way into security. That is why this starts to feel exhausting, because you're not dealing with a relationship problem. You're dealing with a man who wants access without accountability. And please hear this clearly. If you have to talk a man into defining the relationship, you're already negotiating from below. You're already the one trying to convince him that you're worth choosing. You're not asking for marriage on the spot. You're asking for honesty. And if he can't give you honesty, nothing else he gives you is safe. Now here's where it gets tricky. Even after you understand it's not your fault, you can still feel hooked. Because the way he gives you just enough is what keeps you trying. That's what we need to talk about next. The reason this hooks you is because he doesn't reject you fully. If he rejected you, you'd grieve and move on. But he doesn't do that. He gives you enough to stay emotionally invested. 1 week he's warm. He's calling you baby. He's making plans. He's looking at you like you're the only woman in the room. Then you bring up the relationship, or you ask where this is going, and he cools off. Not in a clean way, not with a clear ending. He just pulls back a little, and that little pullback does something to you. You start chasing the version of him that felt safe. You start thinking, if I can just get back to that first energy, we'll be okay. So you become careful. You stop asking direct questions. You stop saying what you want. You stop bringing up the future. You start focusing on being pleasant, low maintenance, easy to be around. And that is the trap. Because the more you shrink your needs, the more he relaxes. And the more he relaxes, the more you mistake that for progress. But it's not progress. It's you adapting to his comfort. And over time, you pay for that adaptation. You pay with your voice. You pay with your peace. You pay with that quiet anxiety that sits in your body when your phone is too silent. You start measuring your worth by his mood. Warm means you're safe. Cold means you did something wrong. That's the cost. Not just the label he won't give you. The way you slowly stop being yourself to keep him. And once you've done that once, it's very easy to do it again with a different man. Because it feels familiar. And that leads to the uncomfortable truth. This isn't always one story. It's often a pattern. This is where you stop treating this like a unique man with a unique situation. Because the script is always the same. He comes in strong enough to get you attached. He gives you closeness without clarity. He keeps you in that gray zone where you can't relax, but you also can't leave easily. And you tell yourself, maybe he just needs time. So you wait. You invest more. You prove yourself. You become more loyal than the situation deserves. Then months pass, and you look up and realize nothing is actually defined. Not because you didn't ask. Because every time you asked, he redirected, he joked, he got distant, he gave you a soft speech and a warm night, then went right back to vagueness. Different man, same game. A man like this is not building a relationship with you. He is renting you. He wants the girlfriend experience with the option to cancel anytime. And once a woman has lived through that once, she starts to recognize the feeling. The early rush, the sudden shift, the confusion, the self-blame, the effort to be the one who finally makes a man step up. That's why it becomes a pattern. Not because you like pain, because you keep hoping the next one will be different if you do it better. If you're prettier, calmer, more patient. If you ask in the perfect way. If you don't ask at all. If you just love him hard enough. But this pattern does not break because you love harder. It breaks when you stop accepting the gray zone as normal. And that brings us to the part most women avoid because it's so clear it hurts. The red flags were there, not as a single big event, as small, repeated behaviors that told you exactly where you stand. The red flags in a no-label situation are not mysterious. They show up in what he does when you try to make things real. When you ask a direct question, he doesn't give a direct answer. He gives you a mood. He gets quiet. He gets playful. He gets annoyed. He acts wounded. He makes you feel like the problem for wanting a simple definition. A man who wants you does not punish you for asking where you stand. Another red flag is how he manages your place in his life. He will gladly be in your space, but he keeps you out of his. He'll come to your bed, but not to your real life. He'll take your time, but he won't give you his calendar. You're available to him, but he's not fully available to you. And watch what happens around other people. He's affectionate in private, but careful in public. He avoids clear words around friends. He keeps things looking open, so he never has to answer for it. If you feel like you're being hidden in plain sight, you are. Another red flag is the way he talks about the future. He uses future words, but never future actions. He'll say, "We should go there someday," but never picks a date. He'll say, "I can see us doing that," but never builds the plan. He'll say, "I'm not going anywhere," but still refuses to claim you. That's not hope. That's stringing you along with just enough comfort to keep you from making a clean decision. And then there's the biggest red flag of all. You feel anxious, more than you feel loved. You feel like you're always trying to get back to stable ground. You rehearse conversations in your head. You time your messages. You second-guess your tone. You feel relief when he texts, and tension when he doesn't. That is not romance. That is uncertainty eating your peace. Ignoring these signs doesn't make them go away. It just makes the price higher later. And now we get to the only part you can control. Not him. You. What has to change in you so this situation cannot continue? What has to change is not your ability to explain yourself. It's your willingness to stay in a situation that keeps you unsecured. Because as long as you keep giving him the full relationship while accepting no definition, he has no reason to change anything. He already has what he came for. He has your body when he wants it. He has your attention when he wants it. He has your loyalty without having to earn it. So the shift in you is quiet, but serious. You stop auditioning. You stop trying to be the easiest woman he's ever had. You stop rewarding vagueness with access. If a man says he doesn't want labels, you don't argue about labels. You look at what that actually means. It means he wants freedom more than he wants a future with you. It means he wants options more than he wants responsibility. It means he's comfortable with you living in uncertainty. And you don't build your life inside uncertainty. This is where your standard becomes simple. If he wants your time, your exclusivity, your affection, your softness, then he also wants the definition that comes with it. Not because you need to force him, because that's the basic trait of an adult relationship. Clarity is not a bonus. Clarity is the minimum. And you also stop doing one more thing that keeps you stuck. You stop acting like you need his permission to leave. You don't need a dramatic fight. You don't need a perfect closing conversation. You don't need him to admit anything. You just need to respect your own time. Because the moment you accept no label, you are accepting no future. Maybe not today, but eventually. And you already know that. That's why you can't relax. Now there are only two paths from here. One path keeps the comfort and keeps the confusion. The other path keeps your dignity and demands a real answer. That's where we end this. He won't define the relationship because it benefits him not to. It keeps you close without making him accountable. It keeps you giving without him committing. It keeps him comfortable while you stay unsure. And the hardest part is this. He doesn't need to be a monster to waste your time. He just needs to be selfish and vague. So now you're standing in front of two paths. One path is you keep accepting the gray zone. You keep hoping he'll wake up and choose you. You keep acting like a girlfriend while he keeps acting like a man with options. And months from now, you'll still be asking the same question, with more feelings attached and more time spent. The other path is you stop living in the halfway space, not with threats, not with begging, not with speeches, just with a clean inner line. If he wants you, he claims you. If he won't, you stop giving him the part of you that belongs in a real relationship. Because no label is not harmless. It's a slow drain. And you don't get those months back. You don't get that energy back. You don't get that softness back once it turns into numbness. A man who is serious does not need endless time to be clear. He may move at a steady pace, but he is still clear. If he's not clear, he's not serious. And you don't punish yourself by staying where you're kept as an option. You step out of the role, quietly, completely.